So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome back to another thrilling scene for This Life, set in the Sept of the Hearth's Fire in Duluth, Minnesota, where Charlotte is puttering towards the public housing. Um, Truth be told, she's had time to wick off some of her damage. I don't know if any would be left. Whatever the case, at worst, she's looking a little kind of scrunchy faced as she putters along carrying, well, not even a especially large box, really. Okay. Yeah, so she's just carrying a box. Just one. Though while her arms are wrapped around it, a of all things, sombrero dangles from her hand. And yeah, she is putzing along, headed roughly towards where the public housing is, just because the porch there is a drier place to stick things than down on the ground. And yeah, probably has fired off at least one text to Cassie asking if she wants to swing by because she wants to pass off Brad's belongings to his tribesmate. So yeah, she's she's gonna bring all that stuff with her, which when you take out the factor of his clothes, really it's not a lot.
So, you pass by, you go by the central lake, you see a lot of the Ravens of the Lost Pack doing their own little bits and hurdy-hurdies, Um, and you'll eventually come across that small little bridge which leads to the public housing. You eventually will see Lacasse. You'll see her pitter-pottering around close to the kind of the outskirts of the housing. The way it kind of goes off in a line, like much like the picture is. You will spot the snow white hair standing at one of the edges of the doors, almost afraid to go in. But yet she wants to go in, but yet still afraid to go in because even still, even though this place is open to all, Metis included, in Cassie's head, Metis should not be inside. So she kind of halters in and around, and you notice her pacing, and she's wearing a big kind of scarf type thing, always wearing a bit of clothes. After all, it was a bit wet today, so she's wrapped up for the weather.
Yep, Charlotte would just slightly reorient, though she'll potentially head towards I don't know, like if the side doors go into like the kitchens or whatnot. I imagine the main doors go into like the main sitting area.
Yeah. Main sitting area, main corridor. The kind of big hallway. That you kind of see in hostels. That hallway where you can kind of go this door to the living area. It's that type of thing. She's standing by one of the doors to the main entrance.
And Charlotte will continue her putter at a steady pace, offering a nod when Cassie inevitably just looks over to see who's coming. But will, when she gets there, kind of start shuffling the weight of the box a bit, trying to kind of guide it over to where she can prop it up in one arm so that she can reach for the door with the other and give Cassie the excuse to come inside, essentially, by inviting her in.
As you're kind of walking over, you notice Cassie is taking off. Again, the picture I have is perfect. She takes off that long scarf around her neck and is laying it down on the ground. As she's getting down on the ground again.
Oh. Like, as in, like, doing the whole rollover bit?
Yeah, it's just, she's putting the scarf down on the ground because she doesn't want to get wet, essentially.
There will be a glance over, and you don't have to do that, Cassie.
She'll, look up. Maybe she's got her knees down on the grass. You know what I mean? But you're a Fostern.
I'm the worst Fostern ever, and you're a friend of mine. You really don't need to. I know that you're showing submission. You always are exemplary in showing submission. I don't need a really grandiose gesture every time to know.
But everyone's watching.
Okay.
She just
Yeah,
Bits
she
of her snow white hair get flecked in the wet grass.
there's kind of a bit of a sympathetic nose wrinkle. Though she quickly will gesture her back up. Like, come on.
You discover the scarf did nothing. She's soaking.
Oh, Cassie.
And she stands up and wraps it around her neck again. It's tradition.
Of
It's
course. You just man, I could have at least called you up on the porch or something first.
you didn't.
Sorry. Do you want to look through this out here? You want to actually come in and sit down and maybe dry off?
It's up to the Raya.
All right, come on inside. And yeah, she will go through the whole process of shifting the box over so she can free up a hand. We'll open the door and kind of gesture with her head, like, come on.
She comes in.
And she'll follow her in again, kind of wincing when she sees her back, like, just soaked.
You know, she unzips one of the jacket that she's wearing and takes out, you know, those big those Sony Walkmans, like the old school ones with the tapes.
Yeah?
She puts that, you know, kind of around her neck again. You know, she was almost doing deliberate because she knows if I flop with this on the fucking ground, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Then try a little move over and find one of the in the main sitting area, the big open kind of communal area. We'll
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead and set the box down on a table there.
You can see some people puttering in and out, you know. Nobody pays you any mind, though.
Of course not. No, she'll put the box there.
Cassie sits down on one of the big, long, you know, fucking extendable couches.
Yep. I'm sure it'll flop down across from her. Be informal because you're mad at me?
I'm not mad.
I just we haven't really stood on ceremony before.
I'm not mad.
Gonna pee and E.
She's gonna mid up, so
I know. She's
she's not
probably
very.
gonna win.
She's not very good at it, though.
Oh well,
She's
that's good.
she's hit or miss. No, she's mad at you.
Okay. Okay. Well, for what it's worth, I'm sorry.
Sorry for what?
It wasn't an appropriate thing to ask, Cassie.
It is
Just
fine.
about you.
You're a father dog like me. You have to ask inappropriate questions.
I know, but I could have found a better way and taken a little more care.
You didn't, though.
I didn't. That's why I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm a menace. Nobody takes appropriate care around me.
It's not fine, and you being a menace has very little pull with me.
Does it?
Yeah, pretty much. I really. I'm sure someone's ears will burn, but I really couldn't care less. It has no weight with me.
But you still ask me if I had silver.
Because it could seriously hurt you, and I don't want you seriously hurt.
In front of everyone.
I asked you quietly, pulled you aside at the door.
In front of everyone.
That is why I kept my voice low, Cassie. The point wasn't to make a display of it.
Where people could hear.
They're having their own conversations, Cassie.
People always listen.
finally just kind of reaches up and rubs the back of her hair.
She doesn't look up at you at all. She's just staring down at the table. Deliberately not making eye contact because, you get the impression if I make eye contact, I'll show that I'm angry and I can't be angry at a Raya. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she just kind of rubs the back of her head. Again, it wasn't the point of it. I wasn't trying to embarrass you. I'm sorry. I was
Apology
just
accepted.
scared.
Apology accepted. Charlotte Raya.
I'm not going to do something stupid like try to tell you not to be angry. You're allowed to be angry. She finally just kind of nudges the box, across the table right in front of her. I didn't pack up all his clothes, but I did pack up everything that seemed personal. I kept a hold of the kite and printed off a picture to keep, but everything else that was his is in here. It looked like he might have had family, and I figure you're his tribes mate. You're better suited to whatever follow up needs to be done.
I will speak with the Den Father. I understand he did not have a good relationship with his family. He seemed to hint as much.
Again, she's just kind of sheepishly rubbing the back, rubbing her hair and whatnot. Yeah, I really didn't talk to us about it.
He hinted. Never said. But then again, I always was good at reading people.
You are. You are. Slumps back in the chair. Can I make it up to you, Cassie?
Make up what?
The guilt's literally gonna kill me.
The guilt of what?
I still did wrong by you.
It's fine.
It's not fine. If it was fine, you would actually look at me and you wouldn't call me Raya every other sentence. And you wouldn't be soaked.
It's fine. It's better than not convey my feelings.
Would it be better if we did it somewhere else?
It would be better if I never did that at all. But then you would have to punish me.
I don't have to punish you for disrespecting me. I have to punish you for failing to submit. You don't have to like me. It's not in the rules.
But I would be. My feelings would cause punishment. For I would not be just you I disrespect.
And we'll talk about it when there aren't other ears. If you ever want to. I'm not going to make you.
She doesn't say anything. She's just staring at the box, head down.
She kind of makes a. And again, Cassie may not be looking at her, but I imagine peripherally she can see vague posture and gesture. So she just kind of helplessly gestures to the box. I just kind of figured he would have wanted you to have it. Of anyone else here, anyways.
Probably.
You want to leave, Cassie?
No, it's your public house, so
It's not my anything. I just don't want you to feel like you have to stay to stand on convention. I also don't want you to feel like you have to put up with me to stand on convention. I can fuck off. I can be at least that considerate.
You're Araya, so
I am, but I'm offering.
she doesn't respond. You get the impression it's like, well, fuck. I don't know what to say. That's polite. You know what I mean? It's that written all over her body language.
There's kind of a caveat to the rules where, yeah, I shouldn't challenge someone much larger than me, much higher rank than me. But if they offer me the opportunity, it kind of goes around the rules. It's a loophole. I'm kind of offering you the opportunity to say you want your space, which is fine and not
I want,
disrespectful.
I want your alpha to stop killing my friends. Kind of just blurts out.
There's just that pause and that suck of breath, like, oh, just like,
That's two of my friends are dead now because of her.
yeah. To be fair, Gemma was on my watch.
She is alpha is her responsibility. That is two of my friends and two of my tribe mates she has killed. One after the other.
Sit back and say objectively, you know we didn't do it, but that doesn't make a difference. It still hurts. And no, I know, and we're not exactly big fans of the fucking mortality rate we've got going either. She returns to her slump because, damn.
I have no quarrel with you.
Just kind of shakes her head. Should have kept better control of the situation. You wouldn't have had to leap in to save our asses.
Was it me who saved you?
Hmm?
Was it me who saved you?
I said he wouldn't have had to leap in to save our asses.
Oh. Well, she's gonna roll willpower.
Oh, do it.
She doesn't have the highest of willpowers. She gets one, you see her bite her lip. That you saw something about to happen, but she bites her lip and looks down again, saying nothing.
Consider this an open invitation to speak your mind, Cassie. I'm not gonna punish you.
Did Juno start screaming at you again? Because she's ineffectively able to lead. So Brad had to come and retain control.
No, actually, not this time. We walked into a situation with some warning but very poor comprehension of how bad it was. We got ourselves stuck, and we got run through a maze.
Bites her lip again.
It's just kind of the pause. Like I said, consider, at least for this sitting, at least for this talk we're having, you have open invitation to speak your mind, Cassie. I'm not going to be mad.
Seems your alpha always seems to be leading you all in situations you don't comprehend. Maybe if she wasn't crying all the time. She starts shaking.
She's getting better, Cassie. And she didn't. This was some shit that I was tied up in. This
She
was some
wasn't
shit that I
crying
volunteered for.
all the time. She's gonna spend a willpower.
Oh dear.
think she did. That was close. You swear you saw like that frenzied type look in her, like the way she puts her hands on the table, like they're vibrating.
I'm assuming this is in rage, not at the risk of Trump like going into
No,
seizures.
rage.
She lets her
But,
do it.
but I have to make a very important roll as well. But she's just so angry. Like the box is even starting to shake.
I know she's made a bad show of herself, Cassie, but she is getting better. She's not
Will that
just
be
crying. She's not
will
just
that
moping.
be her excuse every time my friends die? Will that be excuse when you die? She's just getting better.
Cassie, there was nothing she could have done better than what we did.
I see.
It was a shit situation. We were outmanned.
I see.
There isn't an excuse. We went looking for the worm and we found it.
Ill prepared and cocky. After all that crying.
I was responsible for him too, Cassie.
You're a beta. You follow your alpha's lead.
Man, it's a good thing they're not making eye contact or looking face to face.
You
Because
get the point. You
yeah,
get
totally follow the lead.
trying like so fucking hard not to fucking look up and stay in that like position of like I'm trying to be impassive, but I am so you know what I mean? It doesn't matter anyway.
Your opinion matters to me.
Like I said, it does not matter.
Oh. She finally just kind of spreads her hands. I don't know what I can tell you, Cassie. I can tell you that I'm not failing to see what's wrong. And that I'm doing everything in my power, but that obviously wasn't enough. And I liked Brad. I really did. And I'm sorry. Because
Your apologies mean nothing to me. Not because I don't like you. They mean nothing. He's dead. He's gone. I don't mean it to sound insulting.
no, it's just true.
He's dead because he had to come save. Twitches a bit.
All three of us, Cassie. Not just her.
It's always just her. Always. Callum died protecting her husband. It's always her. My pack has bled enough for that woman already. Now I have to watch my friends die one by one.
You're not wrong.
I know some people are willing to give her a chance. That is their right. I will not question it.
If it means anything, this is her last chance before something changes dramatically.
Like I said, I am not judging those who give her a chance. I am not. It's not my place.
Oh, and you're better than most of us.
I am. But I don't think I should be forced to play nice.
Well, at least in my company, you don't have to.
I
I can't
just
speak for anyone else, though.
wanted to make them see. So, Brad got it. Brad got it. I bet you Brad understand what I did, what I did. She looks up for the first time in those like purplish, the red albino eyes. There is a bit of tears there underneath the brims of them.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did. He was a lot smarter than he let on.
Just to see if Fianna pegged down just once. Didn't want to. Didn't want to hurt him or anything. I just wanted to see him to see what it felt like.
It's a very light nod and just kind of a cursory glance around to make sure the room is still empty.
It is. It is. Whatever kind of pitter patter around the place, it is quite empty.
For what it's worth, I don't really blame you. And Ian and I are gonna have a talk.
Just
But
wanna,
that's why I didn't make it public knowledge, Cassie. I don't feel like you deserve that. But this way, if someone does find out, it's been handled in pack and it's done. It's the only reason I said anything to anyone.
just wanted them to understand. That's all. I bet she can smell me, right?
Kind of a brow quirk?
What I smell like.
And I know you've given it to the Shadow Lords. Are you giving it to her now that it's been kind of pointed out?
Yeah, she smells like a Shadow Lord. Not strong though, but the pure breed level 2.
Yeah, it's one of those things where there's kind of a brown it and confusion, and a more thoughtful kind of look at her features, catching certain, traits and whatnot.
Yeah,
And then like,
it's harder with the albino skin, but you could see it.
yeah, it's one of those things where now that it's been pointed out, she kind of takes a second and squints. Um and actually, I mean, it's an automatic success. She could even potentially use Son of the True Form and just kind of take a minute and just draw in a slow breath and kind of go, ah, About it.
Imagine what that's like.
I'm not gonna pay you lip service, Cassie. I don't think I can. I can try. I can guess, but kind of shakes her head. I can't say that I would ever properly understand. But no, I understand at least as much as I can why you would do it. And
You know,
you
my
know what?
father's still out there somewhere.
There's a squint.
Apparently, he ran for his life. Left my mom and who has had me. She died in the birth.
It's just a quiet nod. She's gotten that pep talk before. And if you could find him,
He's probably dead.
but if you could,
What do you want me to say?
I just want to understand.
I don't know who he is. I've never met him. I don't know his face. I don't know his touch. I don't know anything. I was told by the true catcher very quietly as a cub that in no way will Grandfather Thunder let the likes of me be involved, and even if I did, I wouldn't last.
Jesus.
Only Unicorn found me. And it wasn't. There's a. Yeah, I'll give you a peony.
I will. Peony the shit out of her. With pretty reasonable success.
Do you have special, don't you?
Attentive? Yeah.
Oh, no, I wouldn't count this situation because it's empathy. With three, I think that is. Is that three? Or is that
Mm-hmm.
four? Yeah. Yeah, three. With three, the look she has in her eyes, it's so fervent. It's so, like, the way she talks about unicorn, it's something different. This isn't the unicorn that, say, perhaps Charlotte would know. The way she speaks, far different. Far more. The base case point and example is as a philodox, you seek something of judgment and you look at something of judgment and honorable judgment. The way she speaks of that is if she's speaking about something as great as that, which is for you, Charlotte, as a glasswalker, you're not. Unicorn doesn't typically sound like that.
Yeah, there's probably like a vaguely puzzled expression. She's not hiding her thoughts really, so she probably looks at least a little confused.
Unicorn taught me that all judgment must be presented honorably. Taught me that the rights and the wrongs are brought with something far more than just peace.
You can't enforce peace with pacifism, no. But
No, you can't. In order to bring true peace, sometimes you have to bring something else.
understand, but I feel like I'm kind of missing something here, Cassie.
She'll flick her eyes up for the first time, and it's a very different look she gives you. Is I imagine Charlotte will go, well, that's where she has that child Lord Purebreed. You know what I mean? It's
Ugh.
that stare. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're just like, man, this is the first time Cassie has made Charlotte uncomfortable, not because she feels bad, but because she really doesn't know what's going on. She's kind of like,
A glasswalker would not understand what we see.
the hands just kind of come up a little bit. You know what? You seem to be completely right. I, I don't. I mean, what you're saying isn't wrong. It just kind of affects a very light work of the head. Just not what I expected.
Sometimes the children of Gaia bring more than just peace. Sometimes we have to bring a sword, too.
I imagine you would have to. Like, again, she's obviously kind of out of her depth, but just following along with the line of logic here. Hands kind of drop back onto her, rest on top of her knees. Oh,
Don't worry, Charlotte. It's not something you'll understand.
and that's usually what I worry about more, but again, well, I feel like I'm missing a piece of it. Um, no, it makes sense. Whatever tribe we're in, we're still fighting.
Yes.
Yeah.
The innocent are defended with blood and steel. No cunning has that place in there.
Guess there's not much point to standing for a thing if nobody knows what you're standing for.
Yes. Sometimes you need a shadow to stand up and face the true depth of war instead of healing it.
Yeah, I guess you do. And she's, instead of having set back, has kind of rocked forward a bit. It's the more attentive posture, but she's starting to look a bit thoughtful, trying to reflect some of what Cassie's saying into what she, saw and heard of Brad's behavior, trying to kind of find similarities, draw conclusions. Guess it's just a matter of determining at what point you need to stand up.
Yes. Why he may have been angry at me for using trickery. The next time the Fianna steps near me, I will face him honorably.
Kind of pulls in a breath on that one.
That is if he gives me honorable cause.
Of course.
Should just stand up, picking up the box. Like I said, a glasswalker would not understand.
No, I think I do. At least a little. But I stand by you on it. It's really easy to remember, to constantly say, submit. It's a lot harder for people to remember to respect those beneath them.
That is why I do not respect your Alpha, for she is not innocent from harm. She is just as guilty as the rest of them. She starts to walk.
She lets it go. She lets Cassie do her shit. Lets her walk out. And just digest that one for a minute, just like, oh, man. That feels suspiciously like getting punched in the gut. Whew. Just a little, just reeling a bit. You fucking troll. Oh, she'll let Cassie go. In fact, we'll take a minute getting up and getting situated to let Cassie, kind of get some distance even.
After being metaphorically bitch slapped, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just, man, feel like I need to put my fucking priorities in order now.
Yep. So what you doing now, then, Charlotte?
Jesus. Fucking reorganizing my life.
It's like that Vine picture where the fucking Charlotte's like holding her face. She looks off into the distance.
Yeah, pretty much. Just looks off into the distance woefully. Oh, God. She's gonna stand up and rub her face and just kind of be like, that just happened. And take a moment to just kind of listen while she's in there, keep an eye out, and kind of figure out who's where.
You can
Essentially
hear.
assess whether or not she needs to like talk to anyone else who's in here or in the building.
You can hear some music playing from Neri's room. You assume her and her maid are in there, maybe, just from that, general kind of human and Han.
Well then,
Yeah, pretty much.
leave them alone.
You can hear the tail singer chatting to someone probably in the doorway. You hear the tail singer chatting to Leaf about something. It's something very quick. You can hear the two of them. You hear Leaf heading out one of the back doors, and you can hear the tail singer whistling as he's going along.
How fortuitous! She will go to kind of like poke her head out of that communal room door, glancing.
Yeah, you see him just literally opening the, Leaf. You can actually see the door where Leaf had closed, kind of still kind of swinging shut as the tail singer's turning.
Ryan?
Ugh, fuck.
Little blonde head poked out of the fucking common room.
Jesus, fuck. What,
A
You
fake
spying on
grin.
me?
I'd be doing a pretty shit job if I called your attention to me.
Yeah, but I know you, Sully. You're about as subtle as a brick to the face.
Well, then how would I be spying?
I don't know. I thought, what? Looks around suspiciously, raises his hands even.
Grinning. Just because this is pleasant. It's a nice change from the bitch slap she just got.
Walks over. So what can I do for you then, Blondo?
Uh, I was going to ask, I guess, a favor, Raya.
Oh, really? Leans down, like leans
Leans back into the room like, Bleh.
over you like a crow, like favor. You know what I mean? Eyebrow waggle.
She gives ground so fast, like, Bleh. Uh, yes?
What would you be needing a favor from a little old me for?
Because, understandably, Raya, I can't very well go keeping an eye on how Damon's doing, how he's taking to things.
Oh, I see. You wanted
Uh,
to know your about your little friend. Oh, follows you in.
oh God.
Well, I could do it, but that means I'd have to chat to Lena, junkyard dog, and have to put in this and talk to that and
Aren't
him that
you
hon. Oh,
one of.
chip. Don't interrupt.
Sorry, Raya?
That's better. Poops her on the nose.
Booped. Goes cross eyed for about a split second. Like, really?
Hang on now, I was getting to the good bit. You're slowing me flow here, Sully. Thought we had agreement on this.
Oh, sorry, Raya?
That's better. Jesus, kids these days. Means I may be his personal trainer and all things glorious about our glorious father stag. However, means I have to ask about a certain topic which might cause a bit of tension, which means I have to in turn go to Lena to make sure that I bring up said topic, that he's not going to flip out, and then I get the stick thrown at me. So, so, Sullivan turns then ever so slowly, like he's pivoted. If I do this favor for you, what are you going to do for me?
All things considered, Raya, I just wanted to know from your point of view. I didn't want to stir up a fuss.
Oh, you specifically asked how Damon was doing, which means now I have to go check on him, how he's doing now, how he was doing later on. See, it's a very broad question, but you have to be broad if you want. If you want broad, I'll give you broad. But if you're looking for specifics, well, I have to get a bit more specific now, don't I?
I suppose you would, Raya.
But there's no supposing.
There's like the half second of open mouth, closed mouth, because she's like, but you just said. I was literally just
So,
mimicking your phrasing. Why?
I mean, I could tell you what everyone else knows. And I could give you the standard old, puts his arm around her. Standard quid pro quo, Damon is great, he is adjusting perfectly well. Or I could tell you how he's really doing. But then again, both come with various different roads. That's what we're going to go down.
Okay, Raya.
So as I said, if I go down one path and hold me daisies in my hand, what are you going to do to get me a pair of roses?
There's kind of an askance look because that is the weirdest metaphor she's ever heard. What can I do for you, Raya?
You're leading with that, are you? The crow-like features kind of zoom in on your face.
There's again the slight like back a little bit.
That's that puts finger on your lip. That's boring. You see, smart girl like you begins to circle you. Quite fast, actually. He moves, again, very erratic. You see, I thought a smart girl like you would already know what I'm looking for. But then again, are you going to play the innocent girl routine with me much longer? Because as cute as your face is, it gets a bit boring after a while.
Innocent girl routine. Raya.
Oh, innocent girl routine. You come in with the ditzy hair and the ditzy clothes and the ditzy ways. But there you are, tipping away in your notebooks, making sure you know all this. Making sure you always in the know. I see you, Sully, all the time. Now, you're not very subtle about it, but you try to be. And you hide behind the little facade of, oh, I'm the cute little nerdy girl down the street. But in the reality of it, leans down, again, like a bird, right in your face. You know, he's about to peck you.
Yeah, she always like gives an inch or two every time he does it just because like, bleh.
I know what's really under the garments. I know there's a poor girl who likes the whips and lace.
Raya.
What?
I
Am
think
I
it's
wrong?
awfully presumptuous, Raya.
Oh, don't be playing the. Let's not play the social. Are we going to screw or not? Are we going to jig game? Because there's nobody here. Neri's off getting ridden anyway, like the fucking till the cows come home. So let's not pretend here. And by the way, in case you're hyper paranoid, we can even walk out in the porch so you're not there humming and jiving like a fucking ecstasy flea. Besides, wink. Neil lean forward, Neil lick his lips. Again, twist his head. All very erratic, twitchy movements. It's not like I'm going to start talking like calves now, am I?
She can't help the automatic kind of bristle.
There it is.
Just a touch of it, just a little bit. But yeah, you see the little shoulder roll and everything. It's just like, that's pleasant.
There it is. See? Giving yourself away.
I imagine you're the last person I'd be able to keep a secret from, anyways. Right?
Ah, well, it just is color a bit. That's my point. You keep trying to dance with me, but you haven't the shoes to dance with.
Wouldn't it be boring if I didn't try, Ryan?
I mean, it'd be boring if you could pretend, but the innocent girl routine never entertained me. He'll lean back against one of the posts, like the wooden part.
She considers this, and bless her heart, as much as it's fun to play innocent, she's not completely oblivious to the kind of information he might like to know. So she starts taking up a more thoughtful look, kind of rolling information, how available it is, etc., around in her head. Oh, at least I made a good guess that just coming in with a bottle of liquor was in bad taste, Ryan.
Oh, getting there.
Besides, I don't imagine it's anything you can't get yourself.
Oh, well, if you'd come in with a bottle of liquor and some potatoes, I would have been a bit surprised.
I feel like by the time someone comes to you with potatoes, they're literally just testing to see how you react to them. No one can be that ignorant.
Ah, you'd be surprised knowing your lot.
We may be poorly socialized, Raya, but we're very well informed.
Are you now?
When it comes to human history, absolutely, Raya.
Oh, I'm sure you are, but we're not talking about human history now, are we?
Feel like that's not a Guru specific jibe, really, the potato thing.
Ah, you'd be surprised. But anyway, enough of trying to change the subject, Sully.
Ah. And actually, didn't she see him at one point kind of socially sparring with Carves?
Oh yeah, whole step saw that.
Oh boy. What else has she caught him at?
Socially sparring with every other guy they already could find, including Skyripper. Him and Skyripper had a fucking fascinating conversation. Yeah, he's been fucking going around. You get what he's doing. He's collecting. He's hunting. He's very good.
Did she ever actually get to tell Maria the whole story of the first change? Because Maria was off doing all of her own shit.
I don't think she did. No.
Well, Raya, what about the details of a story that only I can clearly remember?
What is that?
I mean, I imagine Damon doesn't remember everything.
You want to tell me about his first change? Now, why would that interest me?
He's your student, isn't he, Raya?
Oh, he is.
Would you say that you understand his motivations very well, Raya?
Oh boy. Oh, you have no idea his motivations, little one. He says that with some sort of like it's fucking ominous. You don't need Robini. That's ominous, man. Ominous as fuck.
No, I guess I need to roll then.
We rolling.
I'm rolling some appearance subterfuge to not fucking show how much it annoys her that he knows shit she doesn't about it. She's getting frustrated.
You're rolling an empathy roll. Oh boy.
Yeah. I got 2 successes.
You actually beat him.
Holy
You
shit.
did shit.
She
You
is
did shit roll.
she Yeah, he did. He just got a shit roll, which happens. No, she manages to look unruffled.
Leans back. Yeah, young Mr. Lynch has many, many ideals. Very noble ones, in fact. Very noble ones. Tells them to me often, actually. Even asks about certain things. Ever since he changed.
That's all right.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I'm sure you knew that already. You're, after all, weren't you his wife?
As good as in the nation's eyes, right?
And he didn't tell you.
That would depend on what you're referencing, Raya.
Oh, well, I thought you'd know already about it, young Mr. Lynch's aspirations. Sully.
The eyebrows go up mock innocently.
I mean, I guess I understand. He's walking towards one of the counters.
She's just watching him go for the moment. She's not taking the bait and following just yet.
I mean, different tribes and all that.
Tribe wasn't a factor at the time.
Look over his shoulder as if gives you the most like, oh, you're so fucking stupid. Look, do you know what I mean?
She's not even surprised when he gives her these looks. It's pretty much her standard look from him, really.
Oh, come on, Sully. Oh, honey, come here. Opens his arms.
There is no small amount of trepidation, but she will put her over
He actually
into his arms.
He actually gives you a hug. He pats you on the head and everything.
This is about where the annoyance starts showing. I'm not rolling to hold it anymore. She's just like, what in the actual fuck, though? She like he goes and gives her the hug and the pat on the head, and she's a little stiff.
He looks down at her. Even as a kinfolk, especially when you're born as a kinfolk and you're aware that you're a kinfolk, tribes is everything. We like to preach about unity in the nation, but we grew a very, very Clicky. Thought you'd know that as a file of docs. Oh, it's alright. Pet.
I'm not entirely unaware, Raya.
Oh, well, I guess this time it just slipped under your nose. After all, it was probably shagging each other too much.
We literally grew up together, Raya. The
Oh,
shagging was
well.
only a recent factor.
Oh, well, then you have no excuse. It pushes you away, almost like, bleh.
She like putters back a couple steps that she gets nudged.
Well, I can tell you, he's a noble guru with noble intentions. Intentions, obviously, they did not make clear to you. For fear of what I can guess, who you tell them to.
I'm not that bad at keeping secrets, Raya.
We'll lean forward. Is that what you think?
All inserted doubt aside, yes, Raya.
You don't like me, do you, Sully?
I don't dislike you, Raya. Just
Oh, I
don't
know if you
know
did.
what to offer.
Oh, I know if you wouldn't dislike me. After all, you get so testy whenever I mention a certain one of your brood. Ooh, it's so fiery.
I imagine it is, Raya.
Oh, it's so passionate.
There's like a vague squint.
After all, it's such a dead giveaway. Your people are usually very cold and calculating, but you, whoo, so much. It's quite entertaining.
And seeing as they're right there at the counter, she'll finally just like hook one of the stools with an ankle. Tug it over so she can plop up on it. Joining a brood doesn't exactly erase a person's personality, Raya.
Oh no, it's just different ideologies and different things. Oh, think I don't know that. I'm just saying. Whew, what am I
No?
saying? Grins. I'm just saying it's a very, very emotional response to something which normally most of your people keep guarded. Very intense. After all, it explains a few things. A few things I've heard. And a few things that Mr. Lynch has told me in confidence.
There's a squint there. There are things I could absolutely explain, Raya, in confidence.
I bet you could. I bet you'd give me the detailed list. Bullet points and all.
We could always try dancing again to make it more entertaining.
No. You see, what you're doing now is very typical of, the philodox behavior. You sit down, you ground yourself, you analyze, you render, you process, you do all those lovely little finicky details. But now I sense the layer of doubt that's underlying the back of your skull. And that's the worst part. Because now you're dying to know, what exactly did Mr. Lynch tell me? Tell me.
I won't lie in saying that I'm not curious, Raya, but the bulk of my concern is still on how he is doing.
Oh, he's fine. Oh, he's more than fine. Again, he has his moments. But that young boy has. Oh, well, wait, no, I can't tell you. Spoil the surprise.
As much as I normally like surprises, Raya, I think I could do with a spoiler.
Oh, I bet you could, but I don't feel like telling you.
That's not very nice, Raya.
Ah, I know. But then again, there was things that he didn't tell you.
I'm well aware, Raya.
Certain little diary entries that you found out about, I guess.
That would be telling, Raya.
You know how you can tell when you're offended, Sully? It's great.
We both had too many secrets, Raya, and I
Oh,
imagine it was a contributing factor in how stressed he became
I
prior
know.
to the change.
Oh, he talked about it. He did. He really did.
I hope it helped.
Didn't it? Didn't. After all, he still doesn't know any of them.
Well, I can't very well and go have a secret sharing party, can I?
Oh, of course. No, no, but that's the horrific thing. Walks over and puts his hand on your shoulder. He's now hearing what everyone else says.
Suppose he is, Raya.
I know. But thankfully, you've got some way of a decent reputation around here, so it's not too bad.
At least there's that.
Oh, indeed. Does that satisfy you?
I get the distinct feeling it's going to have to, whether or not it does.
Now you're learning. Because why would the fuck would I tell a glasswalker about my cub, my student?
I don't expect you to tell me anything that a
No,
glasswalker shouldn't know, Raya.
holds up his hand. Hang on now. Why the fuck would I tell you anything? In fact, I've done you a far more common courtesy than I would like to. Mainly because the young Mr. Lynch has such sentiment. But let me make something abundantly clear here, Sully. I like you, you're spunky. Bit socially awkward, but spunky. I get it. But you asking, and him pining, brings to the forefront a very serious issue. Because, well, let's just say we know about your little gift.
She finally just kind of shrugs. I didn't imagine it would stay a secret, Raya.
No, but it creates a certain longing. And something we, particularly of Stag's Brood, that longing can turn into something else.
I just wanted him to know I still cared, Raya.
Oh, of course, and I understand, and I sympathize. It's a tragic situation. It's horrific. But that's all it's gonna fucking be. A tragic situation. Because we're not indulging something that could spiral out of control and end up landing the both of you in a situation that nobody really wants to be in.
That is why I came to you, Raya.
It is, and you've got your question answered.
Rolling it again.
Jabulin.
I'm just gonna keep maintaining this totally not annoyed because I know this is all the answer I'm getting, but it's not all the answer I want expression. Oh, for the love of God.
Man, he's doing shit and rolls today. Look at that.
I mean, I didn't even manage to roll dice.
Yeah, he's just doing terrible on rolls today. Fuck me.
It happens.
Well, good. I'm glad that you can keep a straight face and maturity about this because we wouldn't want another Cassie running around the place now, would we?
No, we wouldn't, Raya.
Beautiful. Because,
and all that. It's little finicky details. I'm sure you'd about know more than me.
I do like to think I have a pretty good grasp on it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Pet you on the head. Then you know not to be leaving stuff that's gonna make him fucking pine for you then. I'll let forgive the slip this once. Just because of the tragedy of the situation and all that.
She kind of it's one of those things where she's kind of licking her teeth thoughtfully. You know, it's that am I gonna say it? And finally goes, I understand the situation. I understand the caution. I understand the reason for the separation as much as I don't like it. But just before it happened, the thing he worried about the most was that I would stop caring. And I needed him to know that I had not stopped caring even if the situation had changed.
Like I said, you put his arm around you, lean down. I let it slide this once, considering the tragedy of the situation. It's as if Damon already told me, little one.
I'd had the vague hope, Raya, that you might be invested enough in keeping me from wanting to check myself that you would at least have helped some.
Oh, I helped Mr. Lynch and all his adjustments as any other brother of Stag would. After all, we're family. We care for each other. And he'll be a fine guru, and I'll make sure he rises, as any other true son of Stag would. Same with his sister, and the same with all the rest. Don't ever doubt my intentions when it comes to that.
Of course not, Raya.
But what I will not indulge is your curiosity. And I will not indulge a chance for that man to attain the thing he wants to attain. Because now that he's a guru, he finally feels like he has something. And that's the little bit I can give you. But I will not indulge that being hindered by anyone and their curiosities. Especially as for the first time you see an aggressive motion. My God, does he puff? You know what I mean?
Yep. This is about the time that she stops making even like tangential, like facial contact as far as eye contact goes.
Especially from someone who is in the same brood as a sniveling pile of filth that we both know about. Okay?
I appreciate it, Ryan.
No problem, Sully. Like I said, I like you. Spunky. But just so long as we're clear.
I don't want to do anything that would set him back, Ryan.
Like I said, we're clear. And I like you, so I'm not going to put the old-fashioned screws to you. But so long as we have this understanding, just the two of us.
There is that brief quirk of really? Like, she's looked away, like as a show of respect, if nothing else, has kind of looked aside, but at that last bit, she just kind of quirks a glance back around.
His fucking eyes are fucking eerie. They're like nearly black. And he looks fucking demented.
She regrets taking a glance back.
Well, I better go.
Thank you for indulging me, Raya.
It's good to have indulge the bimbo blonde every now and again, Sully.
So giving.
Pats her on the head as if like, oh, you come here. He even gives the like most mocking of like, oh, you.
She completely indulges him on it. She is not a crazy person. She will put up with all the hair ruffling and patting and whatnot, and let him just take himself off.
He saunters out like the fabulous bastard that he is.
He's pretty fabulous. I can't lie. She will just again be left for a moment going, well, that was another part of my day that happened.
That's what you do him.
She is going to give him time to get out of the hallway and into his room or wherever he's going, really. Just that whole, okay, the steps are going down the hall and the door opens and the door okay, I can get off the stool now. Like, and at that point, she will hop off the stool, wander out of the public housing, and take a glance around to see if she can figure out even vaguely what direction Leaf went in, because it was a longer talk than she intended it to be.
Leaf is heading in the direction towards the Craigs.
Well, I guess she is going in that direction.
You eventually find a big arid landscape. Again, everything echoes Roxy's reading as the wind kind of billows a bit. Again, you can see why they get like this place. It's got that very fjord vibe to it, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, you see the man himself.
The man himself? What's he up to?
He's sitting out, looking out at some of the arid landscape, the hills, bits of the river. You know, he's just sitting there, kind of sitting down and like knees planted, very grounded, his hands like clasped together, kind of elbows resting on the kneecaps, kind of hands in the gap that's created. You know, looking, just staring off down at the sea, at the river. Sorry, at the river.
Just relaxed.
Yeah, what you call relaxed for Leaf. Yeah.
I mean, it's Leaf, yeah. So this is about relaxed as he gets without a book.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. She will try not to be insanely obtrusive about it, but will go about clambering up to wherever the hell he is.
You clamber up a bit, it takes you like, have to step here and do you know what I mean?
Yeah, admittedly, this is not a place she climbs around a lot. Go figure. Glasswalker. She's not inept.
Yes,
She's
you
just
clamber
ill practiced.
You clamber up to him.
Oof. And she just plop down next to him for the moment. Turn around and they're reaching into her bag.
We'll look over.
And she is going to pull out one of those books. Wait 1 second. Actually, I should probably do this the intelligent way. Because you are here. You are here. Do that. That. Oh, Lord. I don't know what just happened, but I'm scared. Where the fuck are my folders? Pause. Yeah, pardon this. This loading screen, proverbially.
Charlotte fucking angrily shouts in her bag.
No. Oh, which one? Oh, no, we'll lead with the strong one. It's gonna be. I'm gonna just send it to you on Discord so you can see. I mean, you've seen this one before, but I feel like it's a strong step to lead with. But yeah, she will go digging in her bag, pull out the probably still has some sort of like sleeve or dust cover over it, but we'll pull out the hardcover book and transition it across her own lap and finally put it out towards him.
Look over, much like the picture here, actually. Probably the exact, like, turn of pace. And you look over, like, eyebrow raise.
Consider it a thank you.
For what?
Having to deal with my crying as much as people that are stuck in your head.
It was nothing.
It was a lot more than nothing to me, though.
Just nods, like, he's not refusing it. He's just like, oh, okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, huh. All right, then. You know what I mean?
Yep. She just offers it over.
You just put it, like, you put it down close to the, like, on one of the rocky edges. Again, not disrespecting it. It's just like, I'm just going to leave this here.
Well, yeah. I don't imagine so. I feel like the day Leaf disrespects a book, we figure he's a doppelganger, so.
Yes.
I just figured. How long since I owed you a thank you? You help with a lot.
You are welcome.
She produces a grin that may be a bit weaker than usual just because the combined 1-2 punch of bitch slaps from both Cassie and the Tail Singer has her a little under full glittering smile, but still, it's there.
As you look out at the Craigs, you do, I put it in the side chat, you do hear this kind of echoing melody that seems to carry around that kind of large, western border that looks over the portion of the river that flows down. It seems to just carry in the wind,
Honestly, if it's subtle enough, it actually may have taken her till now to catch on, which when she kind of blinks and gives a glance out, distracted.
Big, whoever is singing, and whoever is kind of humming and whatever rituals they're doing, big, powerful voice.
And yeah, she just kind of squints for a second, and like it's one of those things where you do like the head cock listening pose. Who's that?
The Alpha.
Oh,
Saying his prayers to Helios.
those are some prayers.
Why not greet the dawn or the sun in midday with the song of praise to honor your ancestors and where you've come from? Sometimes it's nice to sit here and listen. A rumor among this place is that the voices the ancestors carry along the winds. Sometimes it's nice to hear them as well. And it reminds me of home.
It's a thoughtful head tilt because again, this is a hell of an anti-Glasswalker sentiment, but she's still curious, so she kind of flicks a glance aside. You ever actually hear voices?
I can commune with my ancestors, yes.
Oh,
Memories, emotions, feelings. My family's old. My cousins here, they don't truly understand, for they're not from the old world, the old, true home. I am.
I thought the Trimbuson was an old line.
I am not a Trimbuson.
Well, no,
I am an Ulrichson.
Yeah.
From Norway. From the homeland. They are from the Baltic.
Oh.
He says that with such, it's not fury, but pride.
Yeah, he says it's strong. I heard that. She just gives the little nod of, oh, this has become a teachable moment.
Do not mistake me for them, for I'm not.
No, no, I didn't realize that they didn't come from there.
They are from Fafnir's brood originally. It is still a respectable sept in the Baltic. An old sept. But I am from the homeland itself. My family did settle down in Bloodfist, but we are born in the home. My blood is true, Fenrir, for I was born there.
Oh.
Again, pride. That's all you fucking feel. You know what I mean? Oof. You know?
Yeah, she just, bleh.
No, but you know what I mean? It's not like overpowering, but you know what I mean?
I mean, it's probably more emotion than she's seen out of Leaf, pretty much ever. What's it like?
Cold.
That's it, just cold.
We'll look over. It is hard to
Gee.
explain to someone whose tribe do not worship their ancestors in the way we do.
We don't.
And someone who values the city more than you gesture out. It's hard to explain to someone like that, and I mean no disrespect.
She finally just kind of heaves a shrug.
You feel it. The old. Where you've come from, where you've been. And you plant your feet in the snow. You know this is where you truly belong.
That's what it's like.
For me, at least.
And she's mulling, not over the sense of ancestry, just the idea of having a place that you're tied to so strongly that you can feel that intensely about it. Because let's face it, that is something she knows absolutely nothing about.
Some of these Fenrir that come, and I will not deny them their pride as they've been through here, but there are very few who feel the same. The Den Mother does, for she is from the Baltic. So she will have the same attachment, but the likes of your Alpha will not, for she has never stepped foot in the homeland. She only has this gestures out. Again, there's no contempt in his voice. This illusion of it. A good memory.
Huh. Well, you're right. It's. She kind of pitches up the awkward grin. It's pretty weird to explain. Don't. I mean, I understand. I guess at the same time, I kind of don't.
just look back out again. You think it's a very odd feeling to feel connected to something. Very daunting. I can imagine why that's why Maria struggles so much.
She kind of squints a glance over. What do you
To
mean?
be to be burdened with what ancestry you wish to create with and the legacy you already are trying to build must be a very daunting thing.
Yeah. There's an awkward, like, back of the head rub again.
Everyone has a goal in mind sometimes, and that goal can be daunting. Ancestors or no.
Yeah. I'm gonna uh, let you have, again, the awkward grin. Whatever kind of peace and quiet you get, really.
If you wish to leave, that's your choice.
And she will lean over and not, like, go for the full hug. He's in a weird position for it, anyways. She just kind of leans over and plops her head on his shoulder for, like, a couple seconds. It's just a nice gesture.
Your mate sometimes comes here as well.
What? Pops bolt upright again.
The one you've been spending all the time at the river at.
Does everyone know about that?
No. My packmates know.
Yeah. Yeah, that was made abundantly clear.
He's just as much as Fenrir as I am.
She'll probably catch herself kind of glancing around the crags to see, like, where do other places people stake up, essentially.
You could see Wildfire sitting down meditating by a little small patch of grass. You could see, let's see who you see. The cat. Where's my cat? You see the water walking idly, picking up some of the grass, sniffing it with her hands and all that. You can see the Right Master himself padding around a bit. You can see, what other get do we have? You can see Abel walking close to actually where the water is. You don't see Lily. You imagine Lily's off actually somewhere by the main body of the river, knowing her.
Yeah, probably.
You can see Marcel in the distance, but he's a good bit away. You're not quite sure because you have to squint, but you just recognize the big shape.
No.
And you can see way further distance the old form of the Alpha, essentially. Right at the top of the riverbed, just where the sun's starting to come up over the hill.
I feel like that's one of those things where you kind of know he's there because you can hear that's where it's coming from, but at that distance, probably not so much.
Yeah. An on-site that you will see, on the other side, with the picture I have of the Craigs, there's like two sides of the river. On the other side is the Wormfoe himself.
Yeah, that one takes her aback.
He seems to be just sitting down, looking at the sun.
Oh, that kind of blows her potential excuse for running off. But Leaf gone made her nostalgic. Kind of gave her a kick and reminded her something she's gunning for. So she starts kind of chewing her lip thoughtfully, glancing around, seeing who's where. And realized so many of you came out here.
It's mostly my tribe, although a few others. It's a peaceful place. Your alpha sometimes wanders here.
Is he usually out here? She kind of nods towards the worm foe.
Yes.
Does that make a kind of sense that I'm not seeing?
Some people enjoy the quiet.
Yeah.
Even those who wander in the city.
I imagine anyone who has someone nattering in their ear 24/7 likes a break now and again.
Precisely.
Thanks again, Leaf.
Just shrug. Seems just confused to your leaving. He just goes, yeah, whatever. Looks it back out again.
Yeah. She just give his shoulder a bit of a squeeze and hop up to her feet. Go
You're
ahead.
you're behaving odd today.
Am I?
You're normally wishing to chat constantly. But now you seem so eager to run off.
I do like chatting with you. Just thought you don't get any peace around the house, really.
Now you're using that as an excuse.
She kind of self-examines on that. Kind of sighs and slowly just kind of folds back down.
What is the problem?
I don't know that it's even really a problem. It's just... it's weird. Because, this whole thing... She kind of gives a vague outward gesture at the crags itself. Looking backwards. It's not usually our thing, you know?
Not used to being self-reflective.
It's not that I can't reflect on things to learn from them. It's just that you're always supposed to be moving forward. You learn what there is to learn, and then you put it down and you move forward. And
Have you put down the child of Gaia's death yet?
I'm trying to.
And failing.
Kind of turns a wry look to the side. I'm trying not to pick it up in the first place, and
Why not?
because no matter how much I pick it up and turn it around and look at it, she kind of heaves a shrug. It's not going to change anything.
It will not. He died. What every guru is expected to do. As what every rune is expected to do. He died fighting the enemy.
Yeah.
There is no complication. There is no hidden agenda.
It's not a hidden agenda. It's just starting to think we're cursed.
Perhaps you are. Or perhaps this is motivation that you need to change yourselves and use something else.
I should have had better control of that situation.
I've noticed you saying that a lot.
If we hadn't lost control of the situation, we wouldn't have gotten run into more than we could handle.
And why did you lose control of the situation?
Didn't take the time to properly recognize and assess the threat. Too many unknowns. I reacted emotionally instead of logically.
Did just you do that, or did all of you do that?
No, it was all of us, but that doesn't make it better.
It makes a difference. The difference between one person jeopardizing and many is a different thing. If one person reacts emotionally constantly and puts you all in jeopardy, you cut the problem out. But if you all reacted the same way, then it is you as a collective.
Perhaps, but if one person had maintained some sense, they could have done something about the other two.
But there, you're getting to my point.
Glances over.
Who is meant to react sensibly among in those situations out of you?
I feel like at the rate these pep talks happen, sooner or later, the master of challenges is just going to come over and put a hand on my shoulder and be like, shit, or get off the pot.
He'll lean over. I can't tell you what to do. I will not. But the way you've been debating with yourself, it's clear you have a decision you need to make, and if you're going to make it and live with it. But stop wasting time. Your pack is dying. Neither are you're cursed, and you have the unfortunate idea of being cursed. And maybe you do need to change something, or maybe it's a lack of leadership. But whatever it is, you need to address it. And you need to curb it. Maybe it's a tendency to rely on past habits. Maybe it is because you are emotional. But you need to be direct from now on. If everyone else won't be. It's your responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
When Lily lost her rune, Darren, she was distraught. Her and Maria had just formed that pack, and they had lost their first member in the first 2 weeks. I arrived and sat down with them. Lily didn't have the courage to go on, so I decided that I would support her as a beta. I could have taken the position of alpha from her cleanly and fairly, but I made the choice. If you believe that Juno needs to have that cleanly taken off her, then do it. But don't regret it when you do it. And don't break her down afterwards. If you believe she can be strong and stand, then stand behind her and hold her up. But don't hold her up if she's rotting. Sometimes it takes a strong action and a strong hand to lead, so the other will build themselves back up again under your leadership. But you must choose the path you walk. I chose mine. And I know it'll look out. I know others didn't do it the way I would have done it.
Others?
The Silver Fang, the Galliard. He challenged for Alpha and he won.
Who was Alpha before Skyripper?
Glasswalker. She's dead. She died after that cub Cora first changed.
Oh.
It was before your time. Juno was still young, and I believe there was another. Gemma was still there. And they were founding a pack with her originally as Alpha, but through many poor decisions, Skyripper took control and formed the pack.
Why do you say it was a poor decision?
She was reckless. Wild.
Hmm.
He took control and formed the pack under a new totem and a new leadership. And she was his beta. She died in his arms. The first raid at Wolf's Maw.
Jesus.
Perhaps you can ask Skyripper how it feels to be cursed too. I'm sure you'll have some in common. Give her a gentle smile and squeeze her shoulder.
She kind of looks over like, are you kidding? You'll eat me.
I mean in the sense that Guru die. He has lost 2, you have lost 2 or 3. Around the same number.
We've lost. She just kind of rubs her head, scratching back her hair. Like, we've lost literally
4.
everyone.
4.
Too many.
Then perhaps it's time to take something. Or perhaps it's time to hold something up. But take charge, Charlotte. If that's what you think is needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just look back out at the Craigs again.
And she is not sitting nearly so, like, nobly. She's just plunked down on her butt, legs kind of up but out in front of her. Arms kind of splayed across them. Glancing around, seeing who's leaving, who's coming. Has Marcel been by the hut?
No, not yet.
Hmm. Thanks, Leaf.
Pets the side of her head.
She's getting very accustomed to this gesture. She'll start to pick herself up. This time, not in a hurry. Just kind of pick herself up. See you later.
See you soon.
Then yeah, she starts the comical process of picking her way back down without landing on her face.
Where you going, butt?
Well, first she's going to get respectfully away from the Crags before she pulls her phone out of her pocket.
Mm-hmm. You do.
And she will, for one, just check for messages or anything important besides the usual like banter she has.
Yeah, you get a few jokey messages off Felix, the usual type of stuff. Maria's dramatic selfies.
Has Zuri managed to counter her last owl?
Yeah,
Damn it! She'll have to find another owl.
her and Melanie have both made faces.
Oh no! Now she needs 2 owls. She will kind of grin, just looking at, taking a second to appreciate that. You know what? At least she is in good with some people. At least she's not constantly fucking up. This is nice.
Oh no, yeah, you get some messages of like Zori, Felix, even Anton sends you a few goofy selfies as well.
There is a selfie exchange taking place here.
Like, you get a couple of jokey like you get jokey messages off a few people like Abel and all that. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Like I'm over here at the Craigs doing my shit. You know what I mean? That type of thing.
that's
You know what
right.
I mean?
Please tell me he takes those pictures that are like the, oh yes, I am the serene bodybuilder. Look at me in my yoga pose. It's just him sitting in the,
Yeah,
but it's totally to make fun of
yeah,
all
pretty
of
much.
it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's beautiful.
Now, like I said,
Now
there's
she'll
you even get like a message off Lena checking how you're doing. You got a few people checking on you.
she will. You know what? Lena was the den mother, and she's not her den mother anymore, but she's a good one to ask weird questions to. So she will just fire off without really thinking about it, because if she thinks about it, she won't do it. The question of, like, essentially, how weird is it for me to want to look backwards all the time? Um, and I imagine that'll be one that'll take her a second to process and, like, figure out how to respond to. So while that has been fired off, we'll, hmm?
You get the message where are you essentially?
Heading out of the crags? Question mark?
Should tell you to take the up path as you the Craigs, but you'll actually see Lena sitting down close to the Craigs, but kind of more. It looks more the lively part essentially. Like there's a lot more growth of green and less rocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's like puttering along, and it's like gets the message and orients slightly off that away. And it's like, oh, fancy meeting you here. Like flicks the phone screen off. Oh, did I lose you?
Nope.
Boo.
Then they'll smile and flicker blonde hair over her face.
What?
It's nice seeing you.
Yeah, actually just puttering around doing shit instead of running around like a crazy person. With my agenda.
Didn't realize you had agenda today.
Pretty sure I always have an agenda. Just putters over, plops next to her.
Why are you asking me that?
Because I just now thought about it, and it weirded me out a little.
Looking back has its advantages.
I mean, learning from the past is one thing, but staring at it all the time isn't very us, is it?
No, but sometimes when you've lost something, it is nice to look at the memory. Doesn't mean you should live in it, but it is nice.
Weirdly, it's not. It's not that.
What then?
I thought I'd go ask the Wormfo about my dad, but he's in there too, and I am so not texting him right now.
Why are you curious about your father?
I mean, who wouldn't be?
It's not, but why?
He did a lot of good.
He did.
And I keep thinking if I could be more like him, I could do a lot more good than I'm doing.
It's funny.
Why?
I never wanted you to be like your father.
Why?
Why would I want that?
I don't know, for saving the world purposes.
Your father was a fine guru, from what I heard, and a fine theurge. But why would I want you to be a carbon copy of him?
I mean, carbon copy is a little extreme, but
Why would I not want you to pursue your own ideals?
because my own ideals don't always work so well.
That's the nature of ideals. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. It all depends on what we do to gain a perspective.
Do you make this face?
Sometimes it is better to push forward yourself. My father was a galliard, scream the heavens down. You can make the rocks shake, apparently.
Yeah?
Didn't matter to me.
I don't know. I guess I keep thinking that maybe if I was connected into things the way he was, I'd be able to do more. And maybe, like, I mean, I know how to fire a gun, but being a sniper means knowing where the thing you're going to fire at is going to be and being able to plan.
I see. Do you not think you're able to plan on your own?
I mean, current evidence suggests no.
And you're basing it
Everything,
off which?
well, I realized that this last one wasn't completely under my watch. I wasn't in the lead this time, but there was still, I wasn't tapped in. I wasn't ready for it.
The
And
first time you led, I remember correctly, one guru died, and you managed to push back a massive spiral threat from the team you had.
I know it was the right call.
Do you not think your father had to make those type of calls either?
I mean, I don't know.
What does your heart tell you?
I mean, probably.
Maybe you should stop worrying to be like your father and start worrying about you. And not chase something that you don't know. And if you did know, would you like the answer that comes with it?
I don't know.
Just seems like a waste of potential to me.
I feel like that's kind of the lecture I'd get from any of my people too. And I don't know. I don't know Like, I know I can make my own choices and grow however, but it helps having someone to look at. It helps having someone to model what you're doing after, and I barely know the worm foe, and I'm not
Then why are
exactly
you then why are you modeling people you don't know?
gonna squints aside. There's not a lot of glasswalkers to pick from.
Why are you modeling from just glasswalkers?
Because those are the situations I'll be pushed into, I guess.
Seeing as you're going on upon a friendlier sept. Why are you modeling off people that you... Of course you know the other members of your tribe here, but why are you modeling off things you don't know? It's confusing.
Because I know those are the directions I'm going to keep getting nudged in. Those are the things I'm going to keep having to do. And I don't know who else to look at. I mean, it's just kind of matter of course whether I'm good at it or not. I'm going to have to get good because I'm going to keep getting set into the city. Even though every time I go in there, something fucking awful happens. This is like, this
So,
isn't the first time I've been caught by surprise. This is like the millionth time I've been caught by surprise.
so you're basing it off of... Maybe you should stop looking at a man you've never known in your life. Maybe instead of expecting to be something that you never really truly known, you should just be something else.
Like what? I
You're
mean,
you were raised by myself in a junkyard. We taught you the ways of the world. You're raised by different things. You've seen different things. Look at the things that raised you, not to something that you chased an ideal of that you had no idea what that idea was. Shrug. Look to your surroundings and where you've come from and where you've been, rather than something that you never know.
I mean, I remember the stories.
Stories are a very different thing. I could tell you stories. I could tell you hundreds of stories. I used to,
Yeah.
but they are stories. We always tell stories to our children because they always seem so fantastical.
Being an adult sucks.
It does.
just flat face says it. Just like that.
It does.
I like your hair like that.
She blushes a bit and pulls her hair out of her face. It's my natural color.
Pictures are a grin. Well, I like it. Need more blondes around. Otherwise, everyone will make fun of just me.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, totally.
Why'd you like it then?
She reaches up and actually does like fiddle with her hair a bit. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of stupid to say it's just lighter, but I don't know. It's kind of like before you were wearing a shroud and you've taken it off.
Guilt is a terrible thing.
I'm trying to decide if I should roll something because I don't have a snappy comeback for that. I feel like I should.
Give me a snappy comeback. Type of
No,
snappy comeback there, buddy.
not even a snappy comeback, just like, man. I'm gonna roll the same thing I was rolling on the tail singer, just be like, yeah, that would be terrible. I have no idea what that's like. She's really good at hiding her shit today with this dick dice pool. Not as good as Lena is at seeing it though.
She has a specialty in discern as well, so that's a shit. That's a fuck ton of successes.
That's like 8 successes.
Hang on, I'll do the appropriate zoom in.
Yeah, guilt's a terrible thing, and it's like, wow, that didn't hurt. Man, what nice hair this is right now. Yeah, that's pretty much how that goes. Is the man? I'm just gonna instantly play with this hair, and that didn't strike me right in my soul. That's fine.
She'll stare at her. That doesn't mean you get to start dyeing your hair black.
I mean, are you sure all the cool kids are doing it?
It's not worth it. Especially when your roots start showing.
That would suck.
It does. It's awkward.
Besides,
And you look kind of, that's why I used to wear a hat a lot, because you look kind of tacky.
besides, the tail singer had stopped being so nice to me. I think he likes the bimbo look.
He does.
What is with that? Is that a thing?
I think it's because it makes him feel like he's smart. She looks over like, but that's none of my business. You know what I mean? Type look. It's always natural to feel guilty for surviving over a packmate's death. There's nothing wrong with it.
At this point, I'm just starting to become guilty over the pattern.
Don't.
Like once or twice, you can say, "Oh, survivor's guilt," but after like 4, it's like, man, I'm really good at killing people I give a shit about.
I'm not going to give you a lecture, for to say softly.
I appreciate that. No, objectively, I mean, I know, but it's still hard to not sit back and just look at it like a pattern.
I held on to my brother's death for a long time. And the guilt of not helping my niece. For a long time.
You can't help someone if you don't know they need help.
It was still my fault. Do you see the pattern? She'll say, smiling softly at you.
That was mean.
Holding on to things that are out of your control will only torment you. Take it from experience.
Well, what if I could have controlled it, though? Squinty eyes.
That is the mystery for all ages and ages past. To the day that Gaia herself is victorious. What if?
It's like you think that because I tell other people not to be hard on themselves, I just don't get to be hard on myself.
You didn't say that.
She kind of grins. You clearly underestimated my hypocritical value.
You could ponder what if for a long time. What if I had fought better, Ride would still be alive?
Again, it's just like that. Oh, well, when you put it that way, it hurts. Just like that. Oh, face.
If I had intervened when Ajax and Patema conflicted, would all this mess have started?
There's a bit of a squint.
Juno didn't tell you.
No.
Past the rock?
Scooches a little closer.
The scarred one. You seen her, yes?
Yeah.
Her name was Potema.
I've heard Juno call her that.
She was one of us. Not Trimbenson, but I get Fenris. It was a long time ago. Juno's father, my brother, Ajax, he was a good guru. And a good father, but a good guru. There was an argument. Ajax was in a rune. And you know what happens when in a rune. Sometimes the rage is too.
Shit.
Sometimes the rage is too much.
Yeah.
He was my alpha. I did not intervene. It was not my place. As much as I'm a ragabash, you don't question another alpha in front of everyone, you know?
Yeah, I guess not.
There's a time and place. My gut told me I should have, but I respected my brother. I did not want to humiliate him. The argument spiraled out of control, and in the frenzy, Fatema's husband was killed. And she was disfigured.
He did that?
She made it worse herself in time, I suspect. But her face was cut. She then went mad with grief. We never saw her after that. She disappeared. And then one day, when we were ambushed, it was only myself and Mark left. And there she was, horrifically, something else. She's been after to eliminate Ajax's legacy ever since.
And that's why. How. What happened to Calhoun?
What do you think?
got to him.
Calhoun was not a guru originally. Juno originally was the only one to change out of that line. Can you imagine the level of torture he would have had to endure to make him change?
No. I don't want to.
That thing was no longer my nephew.
And that's why she always goes after Juno. And that's why she took Felix and Freya.
Yes. That's why when she saw me, she gunned right for me. Smiling.
Kind of rubs her face.
The others I don't know about. But Patema has an obsession.
It just, it makes some things make sense. The first time, when that smiling bitch caught Santos and me out in the city, she thought I was Juno. There was a door between us.
Perhaps it could be used as an advantage, but baiting Patema is like baiting a whirlwind. Unpredictable.
Yeah, I guess. But if they're all following their alpha's lead, I mean, they're not especially predictable either, but
The smiling one does like you.
oh, I kind
They
of
all
hoped I'd imagine that.
they all follow her lead, but we don't know what their true motive is.
Yeah. Oh. Again, just rubbing her face. At least Damon's safer now than he was
He is.
before. She wanted him so bad.
He is currently has his new protector following him around.
Hmm?
Smile fondly.
Like blinks a time or two. Like what?
Oh, Cora.
Sorry, I'm trying to stay true to the whole staying away thing, and it's going to slowly kill me. But I'm glad.
She's taken a real shine to him. Surprisingly, considering her blood, but Cora has endeavored to protect all that is helpless.
Good.
She is taking the Brad's loss heavily, though.
Yeah.
She will learn in time.
Are they together right now?
Yes. Believe they are going, as Junkyard put it, to learn about the birds and the bees.
Oh, that'll be thrilling.
Considering it's coming from a Philodox, yes, I imagine so.
Is he going to use a video clip from Aliens again?
Probably.
It was a pretty good clip. I'm not going to lie.
Hmm.
Are they? They're not by the cabins, are they? Right?
No, they're probably down by the barbed wood.
Okay. I just I mean, unless you think there's a better way, I can just put a note on it, I guess.
Put what?
I I didn't hold on to a lot of Brad's stuff. gave most of it to Cassie to figure out because, you know, they were pretty close. But I snagged one of his pictures and I held on to the kite.
Maybe you should wait till she's done. And give it to you herself and don't leave it there.
Okay.
Sometimes it's better to know that a person understands grief. Better for her and better for you.
I just figured if she was a shadow,
Cora's her own person despite protecting my little Damon.
for some reason this seems to perk her up a little bit. I know. Just I figure avoiding the risk was kind of the better part of valor. But
Perhaps,
yeah.
perhaps you could just, talk to her too. She does like to wander.
Yeah. I'll I'll keep doing what I'm doing, I guess, and just take my cue from you on when it's a good time. Or at least when she's in a better place about it.
Nods.
Okay. Well, I am gonna go do a potentially awkward thing. It'll be great.
Eyebrow raise.
And she's kind of starting to pull herself up. I know Marcel isn't just walking around right now, but he and Brad. Yeah, I know. But
If that's what you want.
apparently,
If that's what you want to do.
if he could show respect to Callum, I don't see why he can't come show respect to Brad.
If that's what you want to do.
Yep. Yep. Set my head on it. I'm doing it.
Shrug.
Yep. I mean, you can see the levels of fucking awkward. This is not a comfortable thing.
I was like, that's your choice. Whatever. Looks off to the distance.
Yep. So I'm gonna go live in fear of a southern accent for a minute.
Just nods.
But yeah. I'll whine at you if it's awful. It'll be great. And
Just
then you
gives you
can
the
say
nod.
you told me so, and it'll be awesome.
I will. Don't you worry.
She will bumble off.
And eventually, you do see the big guy himself.
Ugh.
Sitting down much like this by one of the stone bits.
Huh. She thought she was gonna go through digital means, but there he is. Ugh. Oh, God. She was not braced for this. She thought she was braced.
He's big.
He is really big, and he beat the ever-loving shit out of her.
Yeah, he did. He beat the snot out of you.
And there's, most of the run-ins have been very distant or very focused on other things at the time, and this is probably the first time she's been anywhere near him in a casual setting since then, really.
Mm-hmm.
So there is some level of just that straight instinct, what the fuck are you doing? Screaming in the back of her head. As she ambles carefully a bit closer, putting her phone back in her pocket because she doesn't get to go through carves, even though that probably would have been better, she's thinking in this particular moment.
As you walk over, his blue eyes look up and meet yours.
And hers will probably drop. And she will promptly go ahead and go through the process of like going all the way down to the knee, and if he budges in her direction, even if it's to let her up, goes ahead and flops back onto her back because she is nope.
You can get up.
Yeah. Thank you, right? Goes ahead and pulls herself up. I wasn't sure if word got passed, but there's only so much time left. And I thought it was only appropriate to invite you if you wanted to see Brad before.
I will come see him when I'm ready.
Of course, right.
Just looks at you.
It's like there's the tiny nod.
Is that all?
Um, Here's a question: has she already? Brad was how she was sending the letters along too. So it's like, unless you fancy acting as a courier, Raya. No, I don't think so.
I see.
Kind of shoots a glance.
I
Gonna
suspect.
flash a look at his expression because
Just like the what? You know what I mean? Huh? Courier? What the fuck?
oh. Well, he said, "Oh, I see," and so she's like, "Wait." There's a whole lot of what going on right now. Has he actually like said anything that even vaguely hints that he like is she peonies him or anything, or does she even need to see that he has no idea what's going on?
Yeah, it's pretty much like he has the exact expression of "I don't know what the fuck you're on about" type stare.
He says, "Oh, I see," and
Yeah.
looks at her like, "What?"
Yeah.
She needs a like this whole awkward pause is her trying to take a second to reconcile the difference between his answer and his expression because what uh, 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 I yeah, I'm seeing she's having issues with that, okay? Oh, apologies. Freya, I have been sending Brad had taken a letter to Michelle for me, Raya, and
I see.
I guess I'll just mail this one.
Ix just extends his hand out.
There's another awkward moment, and then she just kind of reaches into her bag and produces the little, the nice little stationery envelope. Their name very tidily printed on the back and awkwardly hands it over.
Puts it in the inside of his leather jacket.
Much appreciated, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll I'll just fuck off, right?
If that's what you want to do.
There's a pause?
You seem to stutter a lot, so I don't know what you want.
She shoots him a kind of, again, just this comically befuddled look that I'm sure Carves is loving because I know he's in there. But it's just like this, I don't know what to do with my hands kind of look. I didn't figure you'd, especially with the company, Raya. Would you rather I stay?
It gives you the look like, oh god, you're one of those people.
In any case, Raya, thanks for whatever time you spent with Brad. I have no idea what you guys got up to, but you seem to enjoy it.
We went bird watching.
Blinks. Bird watching?
Yes.
Just she's like on the verge of having like a systems failure here.
I enjoy bird watching.
You do?
Yes.
Can I ask why?
It's peaceful. Calming.
I guess it would be.
Reminds me of a simpler time.
Did you always used to birdwatch?
When I was younger, yes.
The eyebrows pop up a little bit. Just an appreciation of how she never saw that one coming. Sorry, Bob wandered in. At the risk of it being a very strange question, Raya, I know that birdwatching is an in-depth hobby, but do you watch for certain behaviors, certain birds? Like,
I always enjoyed the red robins at wintertime. Dignified the coming of spring.
huh. Yeah, I guess they do. Still just on the verge of the 404 crash. Oh. Kind of shakes her head. Like, obviously trying to kind of like jostle things back into place.
Like I said, a simpler time.
Just like back when You were kinfolk simple, or just before?
Yes.
Oh,
Sometimes it was easier being a kinfolk than what we are now.
I like to think it was frequently easier.
Before the
Oh,
rage, at least.
Again, a thoughtful squint.
No. Looking at you.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I mean, God. Just like, again, it's that appreciation for, like, oh my God, he is enormous and he has, what, twice the amount of rage in his body that I do?
Rage 6.
He literally has twice her rage. Actually, no, I think she. No, he literally has twice her rage. Yeah, I can't say that I totally sympathize, but I understand. For what it's worth, she has this entire time stayed very carefully, like that perfect, 5 inches past conventional reach.
He hasn't moved at all. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So it's actually been pretty peaceable and hasn't been pushed to the point where it's become obnoxiously blatant, but do you birdwatch frequently, Raya?
I had stopped for a while. But after a few certain mistakes, I took up again to find myself.
I just want you to appreciate how much I'm dying because she really doesn't have any reason to disbelieve anything he's saying.
I mean, you can try.
I feel like that one's almost worth peonying, not because she thinks he's lying, but because she's trying to determine if the mistakes he's speaking about are the ones she's thinking of, trying to see if there's like digging to see if there's any guilt, anything she can read off him.
Roll it.
I'm gonna roll it so good you can be like, why you roll it so good? Fucking his pure breed and his totem and oh god, and that was a shit tier roll.
One. You get the impression some mistakes were made. You get the impression that maybe he is talking about that. He's making no attempt to hide it. It's pretty fucking obvious.
Oh. I hope it's working, Raya.
It is. You can P&E.
Do I have enough dice? 1, 2. Does he have a specialty?
No.
Even if I got all successes, he'd win on a tie.
There you go. It is.
Yeah, Rose just again kind of pop up in appreciation a little bit. Oh,
It's often better to appreciate these things on your own.
when I have a shit chance in hell. Nope. All things considered, I mean, it's not a botch or anything, but considering the phrasing and all, it's she takes this as a hint and nods a time or two, and I'll leave you to it, Raya. But
Very well.
I feel like, you know what? She kind of reaches into her bag and pulls out like one of those little pocket-sized notebooks. It's like, I know you could already have this if you wanted to, but still. She jots down her fucking number
Gives her an
and
eyebrow
offers it
raise.
to him. I mean, I know you and Brad got along, and I feel like I'd be kind of spitting on his memory if I didn't at least try. Raya. She just holds it out.
Takes it. Stares at you, though.
The long, awkward silence was long and awkward as she held out this little piece of paper. At least this way, Raya, it's on your terms, and I'm not obnoxious. So I'm just gonna, kind of like jerks her thumb over her shoulder, like I'm just gonna fuck off at the speed of light, essentially.
Just watches you as you're trying to back away.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
I am
It's
sorry to hear about your former mate and this situation.
She pauses. And she is actually going to study his expression because she has to. Because every natural assumption is that, like, essentially, did Cars tell you to say that, or are you saying that for yourself? Because she's seen how fast and how hard this pack link runs. Fucking Carve showing up the last time she was talking to Runs. That one's at least half decent.
Maybe it seems genuine.
Thank you. Yeah.
It is a tough situation to be in. Especially when they change right in front of your eyes. And you lose all semblance of the life you had.
Oh god, now I have to roll something different.
What you rolling there, buddy?
I'm rolling the I'm not crying, you're crying with one whole success.
Are you ready for this dice pool?
It's peony. I'm sure it's
Are you
astounding.
ready?
She
Ah!
barely keeps that under wraps.
But he's also going to roll something else, which he is good at, surprisingly.
Oh dear.
Or breed for it.
What's he rolling? I'm scared. Thank God for some ones. What is that?
They say the Craigs is a good place to cry because no one will hear you. They'll just assume it's the wind, the ancestors, mourning a loss.
I'm gonna. I don't know if I should roll or not. I don't. I feel like she's so. Nope. I'm not going to roll to keep that expression straight because there's no way she could brace for that. So there's again just this long, awkward pause as she is visibly shook before she gives a light nod. Thanks, Raya.
Just a bit of advice.
Yeah. Yeah. Surprisingly, apt advice, really.
Don't let it consume you.
There's a light head shake. No.
You just stand up. Just go walking. Doesn't say anything to you, just seems to walk off on his own.
She just kind of watches him go. She doesn't quite like straight deer startle when he stands up. But I mean, the eyes flick up to watch him. And yeah, she just lets him go do his shit. Watches him go. Has a solid couple moments of did that just happen? Starts rubbing her face.
And there we can end this scene.
Oh, Lord. Thank you, players, for playing, and ST for being a baller and playing about 80 characters. And thank you, watchers, for watching. We see you next time.